What it do, what it do? Welcome back, Sour Crew. It's your boy Soul, aka MyNamesNotLemon. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. And today I have a special video. I did a haul. It was a pricey haul. About $176. Woo! And today, it is on tarot and oracle decks. Oh shit! And they're hyper gay. So a little background to this story. I finally am in a place where I feel comfortable enough to express gayness. I love art. I love collecting things. I'm like a raven. Okay, I'm like a crow. But I've never felt comfortable enough to express myself in that way because of the people I was living with. I didn't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable by explaining hypersexual art, figures, things of that nature. I'm finally feeling as though I'm in a place where I really want to explore that within myself. Not be so shy and timid, embarrassed, conservative, right? Not that that's bad things, but it's something I would like to explore within myself. I'm very, very passionate right now about tarot. If you guys know me, taking a little bit look back at my channel, you guys already know that. But now I'm actually pushing forward to really study the concept of tarot and the language of tarot, what it means to me and how it fits in my spirituality and religion. That being said, about a month ago, I had looked into gay tarot. Since that was something I was so passionate about, I wanted to look into see if there was anything there for me. I came across an article that talked about several different decks that featured either gay artists, gay artwork, and I came across an artist called St. Jinx. A little bit background about St. Jinx, because I clicked on the link and I said, hold up, I know you. A little backstory. Back in my heyday, way back when I was in college, when I was a little teeny bop starting college, I was really obsessed with the website called Redbubble. Redbubble is a website where artists can go on, upload their artwork, and then that artwork can be put on different mediums, whether it be phone cases, which I bought a lot of, stickers, which I put a lot of on my laptop, art prints that you could put on your wall, which I also put a lot of. It's super, super fun. A really cool way to just express yourself and your interests, your hobbies. St. Jinx was one of the artists on there that I really liked, but I never felt comfortable enough, maybe brave enough to purchase the stickers and prints and what have yous. To see that the artwork that I was in love with was actually from his tarot and oracle decks, full circle moment. A full circle moment. Because back then, I didn't know about tarot. I didn't figure out about tarot until Dramageddon on YouTube from Peter Mon, right? Through Aphrodite, with Aphrodite is a huge influence in me. Really love him. I was incredibly excited to take a look. Because of that, I splurged. So today we're going to be going over 3 of his oracle decks and 1 of his tarot decks. The first 2 decks we're going to look at are going to be his oracle decks, and they're going to be fairy-based oracle decks. So his first deck we're going to be looking at is going to be the Court of Dreams, a gay fairy pocket oracle, Uncensored edition. Now, something I need to say before we get into this. St. Jinx's work is hyper gay. It is going to be more of a bara style art form, very masculine presenting, masculine features, lots of muscle, and huge dong, alright? He does have standard versions of his decks, which are all clothed, and he has uncensored versions of his decks, which show lots of dong, okay? I know I would have loved the artwork fully clothed, standard. But I wanted to step out of my realm of comfort, and I wanted to get some uncensored. For the tarot deck and the oracle deck that is a sibling of that tarot deck, they go along together story-wise, I got them censored. I got them standard. Because I knew I wanted to use them in my daily practices, and I didn't want anyone to feel uncomfortable while I was using them. Now, My fairy oracle decks, I got them uncensored because I thought it would be really fun since they're fairies, they're of nature, and it would, to me, I wanted that energy to be very free, very relaxed, very comfortable. It's been about a week. It's been a week since I received the decks. It took about 3 weeks to get made. Oh, another thing. These decks, I believe, will be classified more indie. So the artist, Saint Jinx, has them on his website, and when you click the link, it's going to take you to a website called Game something. That website seems to be focused on made to print, made to order games, board games, card games. Tarot is in that realm. So when you order from the website, you get put in a queue. Once your number comes up, your order is then made and then it's shipped to you. So it took from me putting in my order, I believe I was in queue, I was number 700 and something. From me having to wait for it to get made, then it getting made, then it getting shipped to me, it took about 3 weeks, so it wasn't bad. That being said, let's just get into it. So here is the Court of Dreams. The Court of Dreams, Uncensored Edition. Cute! It comes in a tin. Oh, also it needs to be said that the cards are pretty flimsy, and I did notice some of the cuts weren't the best. Now that I'm going through them, the cuts seem fine, but when I had gotten them, you can see where they were cut, like paper was left over from the sheet they were cut out of. So just be forewarned, because these cards aren't incredibly cheap, right? I think they're pretty standard for tarot, but you're not getting a guidebook. You're getting a digital version of the guidebook unless you purchase, I believe they have like a collector's edition. The only deck that came with a guidebook is the Feather and Stone Oracle, which is one of the fairy ones. And it's a little tiny paperback one that comes in the deck. The Court of Dreams. The Court of Dreams, let's read what world this deck comes from. Court of Dreams. The Court of Dreams is a pocket-sized oracle deck of gay fairies, perfect for taking with you on your travels, so you can tap into the wisdom of the Fairy King's court wherever you may find yourself. Ew. So, Saint Jinx is the artist, and Walter Freyerson makes the guidebooks. Okay? So, let's take a little look. Here we have the back of the cards. They're very cute. I believe they're called like fairy circles. I think they're in Coraline, right? Something like that. Cute. And like I had told you, the very flimsy, right? Very thin. So this deck, to me, is it's perfect. You have cards that have spreads on them, so it gets you started. You have 4 spreads, and what I really like about this, I'm assuming these spreads are your standard run-of-the-mill, talked about countless times, done countless times. You know what these are when you're in the tarot oracle sphere. But what I like, what makes it so much fun and engaging, is they give you different titles for those spreads. So your 1-card spread is called the Fairy Spark. Ah, how cute! And then you have the 3-card spread, which I think is your past, present, future spread. This one's called Journey of the Fae. And it's labeled past is your foundation, present is your intention, and 3 is your outcome. Now, this could be something completely different, but that's how I think of it. Super cute. They have an 8-card spread called the Fairy Circle. And they have a 4-card spread called Moody Meadows. Okay. So I really like that. So right out the tin, you're getting your spreads that you can use, and you also have definition cards, which are super cute. It's gonna have all the characters in this oracle, what they represent, and a little blurb of the meaning of those representations. We know going into this deck, we have the Fairy King and his court. These are very high-ranked fairies, okay? Let's get into this. Oh! Also should say, with my experimentation and my wanting to explore this hyper gay, this wanting to not feel so embarrassed or sheepish or shy with being gay and nudity and sex in general, I'm trying to get a feel for how I feel about these decks and the energy and what I'm going to be using it for. I think if they were just nude, I would love it. But because this is more hyper gay, they actually have erections in some of the cards. There's even some leakage in some of the cards. And penetration, right? So to me, I'm like, whoa, 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 right? It's a little much for me. But it's adding on more of a metaphor, symbolism onto these cards that I never would have thought of before. And I'll get to that when I get to those cards, okay? So let's take a look. Let's get into it. So we have Joy. Cute. Now, Joy is one of the ones who is, he is erect, and he does have some leakage. And so, of course, when you think of Joy, it is the happiness, but that symbolism, that metaphor, that imagery really amplifies that meaning of joy, right? Oh, I love this. Okay, so here we have the Joy card, right? The one I just showed you. Then we have Envy. Very envious, right? If you look at the cards, Envy is envious of Joy. You can't. Hello? Perspective? Isn't that so cool? That's them. Unfortunately, you can't see Envy in the back of Joy, but I just... Damn. I just thought that was really cool. We have Solitude. I don't know if you can show bums on YouTube, but I'm just going to cover it anyways. Solitude, he has his back towards you. Okay, Solitude. We have Pride. We have Fortune, which I'm not too positive as to why Fortune has an erection, but he does. I'll figure that meaning out. Also, it's to be noted that the cards are glossy. All the cards are glossy, and you do not, as far as I know, have an option to choose otherwise. I know some people don't like that. I don't think I mind too much, but I can see, like, when you're using it on camera, how it could be a little annoying. But this is Transformation. Transformation. Then we have Peace. Peace is another one that has that erection. So it makes me think, it's making me think way more about peace and how peace could be seen as very eluding, very wanted, exciting, comfortable, intuition, upheaval. I love that upheaval card. It's so cute. We have Sadness. Gluttony. So Gluttony is one of the cards that also has an erection, which I actually find like it. I like that, the implication and meaning of that, because it makes me think how pleasurable gluttony is to people. I love that. We have Authority. So this is the Fairy King. Ooh. Look at him being all kingly. We have Confusion. Grandma, good hand. We have Relaxation. Relaxation is one of the ones I would have thought would have had the erection, but he doesn't. We have Greed. And I think these are pentacles, which is pretty cool. Greed. I like that greed card. Unease. Learning. Love these little books that Learning has. Super cute. And a sunflower. So cute. Wrath. Wrath is my favorite card. Oh, he's so cute. So handsome. Wrath. I have Balance. Now, Balance is another card that has an erection, which I don't understand. Maybe because you have to concentrate really hard when you have Balance. Maybe. We have Bravery. Bravery is really cool. He's going against a cat. You see it? Isn't that fun? You have Love, and now of course Love. I don't think his erection is like super erect, but he is leaking. Which, okay, Love. It's a cute card. This Anticipation card kills me. It's so funny the position that they're in, and they are definitely anticipating, aren't they? My goodness. Willpower. Ooh. Willpower. We have Wisdom. I love, look, he has a honeybee. Because he knows how important honeybees are to nature. Oh, okay, so here we have Sloth. So I was getting a little bit confused with Sloth and Relaxation. They are two very different things. Sloth has the erection. Relaxation doesn't. I love that. Hope. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. Fear. Aww. That's so cute. And then we have Inspiration. Inspiration also has an erection. So that's interesting to think how exciting inspiration can be and how passionate inspiration can get you. We have Strength. Cool, huh? And our last card we have is, of course, is Lust. So, of course, Lust being Lust, this one is your one and only, like, sexual penetration-y card. You can definitely take it out if that makes you uncomfortable. But it makes sense for me for Lust. So that's what we have for the Court of Dreams. So I think it's incredibly cute. I think they're so adorable. And I'm looking forward to see, you know, what energy I pick up from this and what I use it for. I've used it a couple of times, but I haven't found my rhythm with this one yet. Super cute. I do recommend. And it is not, I think it was like 20 something. Pretty good. So now we're bringing in the Feather and Stone Oracle deck, which is a Fae Fairy deck. It is from the Muscle and Magic Collection, Volume 2. I think Volume 1 is different. I don't think they're fairies. So this is them. This is the deck box. It's a pretty cheap deck box, but it is what it is. So let's tell a little bit of the backstory of this Feather and Oracle. Oh, Feather and Stone Oracle. The Feather and Stone Oracle is a venture into the fantasy realms where you will be faced with a variety of forces and archetypes presented in stories of old. Each encounter has a fable to tell, a lesson to teach, something new to show, or remind of things long forgotten. Who will you encounter along your journey? Will it be the playful and optimistic Fae? The brutish yet enticing Fallen? Here we open the portal to the realm of the Sunlit Grove, world of the Fae, and the realm of the Shadowlands, dominion of the Fallen. Go forth and explore. So what I understand from this is that they have the Fae and they have the Fallen, but they originated from the same species. They just broke off. Whereas the Fae, I believe, still carries the natural traditions that started with the ancestors. Whereas the Fallen broke off and rejected their natural born instincts or nature, and they developed and became the fallen. That is my understanding of it. I'm new, so we'll figure it out together. Okay? This is the one that comes with the guidebook, and it's just your basic guidebook. It just gives you some definitions. It gives you a little background of the story, and it like brings you into the story. Welcome to the Sunlight Grove land of the Fae. The Fae are the wardens of the Sunlight Grove. An ancient race, they are the embodiment of nature and guardians of Earth. Although they have iridescent wings and are often confused for masters of air, they are in fact most connected to the land where they dwell. As nature-based beings, they ensure the protection of the forest, the hills, the trees, the flowers, the rivers, the stones, grains of dirt, and all manner of creatures, no matter how big or small. The land sustains them, and they sustain the land in gratitude, abiding by nature's laws. Under the blazing sun and cosmic elements, the Fae live by the light of joy and desire, be it in love, sex, battle, knowledge, self-empowerment, or personal/communal growth. The Fae are not flawless, however. They can be as imperfect as any human, and they understand that. They live as righteously as possible, although they have been known to stray from the path out of need or circumstance. The Fae are aware that their existence is based on the lived experience and thus will live fully and freely. Now let me see if they have the same for the Fallen. Wandering the Shadowlands, domain of the Fallen. The Fallen are the lords of the Shadowlands. The origins of their race is steeped in mystery and mythology lost to the ages. The Fae believed they had shared ancestors at one point in their existence, beginning with a tribe of ancient Fae that renounced earthbound worship and resigned themselves to only satisfying their own needs. Blending with shadow and allowing it to become part of their being, internally as well as externally. They retain a more extreme version of their former selves, with feathered wings and gnarled horns, choosing to align themselves with a more unruly element of air, specifically in the destructive form of the tempest, tornado, and typhoon. The Fallen are ruled by ambition and absolute power, be it lust, temptation, manipulation, greed, indulgence, and selfish progress at the mercy of others. But like the Fae, they aren't completely lost and don't always desire to live through devious means. There are glimmers of hope, regret, understanding, and for some, the need to rise above the shadows, for better or worse, and reclaim their place in the light. Be careful, explorer, for danger lurks in the darkest places. All right. So, we have our backstory. Let's get into this. Oh, I should also preface this by saying that... Oh, did you see that? I hope you didn't. That because the cards are very thin, and because I seen how they were cut, I was worried that they were going to get damaged incredibly quickly. So, I did sleeve my cards. I sleeved my tarot deck and the oracle deck that is like a brother to that deck. I didn't have enough sleeves for this one, so you're going to be able to see what this card stock and the cards look like. Let's get right into this. So here we have a map of the layout of the realm where the fairy and fallen reside. I think that's super cool. So we have, this is a Fae, the collector. Ooh, gotta cover his bum. We have the intertwined hearts. These are Fae. This one is going to be a penetration card. So again, if you're uncomfortable, take this one out. It's no problem. Here we have the Lord of Many Faces. This is going to be a fallen. Oops. Here we have the Traveler. This is a Fae. Okay, Fae, booty up in the air. I see you. And here we have the Summoner. This is a fallen. Damn! Ah, booty! So I have taken notice. This is Herald of the Sunlight Grove. I think Herald is a guide. So it would be your guide. Whomever's doing the reading, right? Or getting the reading on. A fae. That some of... So the fairies have... The faes have those like elf-like ears. The fallen have human ears. Of course, their wings are different. The fallen have more bird-looking wings. The fae have more insect-looking wings. And not all the fallen have horns, which is very interesting to me. Fae doesn't have horns. So I think it really does play into that. Did we come from the same place? Oh, I was confused with this one. We have the Scholar. It's a Fae card. He's sitting down, booty out. We have Lord of Lore. This is going to be a fallen. So when it says Lord, it's a fallen. So we know that right off the bat. We're going to have Lord of the Four Winds. These cards are gorgeous. I do think that he takes real pictures of people and right when I say that and traces them and then does his art. This is Lord of Redemption. Tell me that's not Liam Hemsworth. Banging body though. Banging body. We have the Lord of the Winds. And I think before I would have been very like, I'm not about that too realistic type of artwork. I'm into it right now, especially with this set in particular. I'm usually into more cartoon. Here we have the Priest of the Sun. How beautiful, huh? Lord of Magic. And I do think it just came at the right time of my exploration that this is going to be more realism for me. Grounds me in reality. The Dreamer. This is going to be a fae. We have the Lord of Indulgence. We have the Wrangler. Oh, the Ranger. Dang, so look, the fae's attacking. He's attacking a fallen. I'm covering his peen because like ain't no reason for him to have a full on hard on. While he's attacking. I guess he's excited. Here we have Keeper of the Keys. Lord of the Pathways. Oh, I have to cover two parts. Lord of the Pathways. Boy, why do you have a boner going into a portal? What's wrong with you? Here we have Herald of the Shadowlands. So this must be the guide to the Shadowlands. I know it's in the guidebook, I just didn't read it. Here we're going to have a penetration card, but for the Fallen. The Horned Lord. And from the guidebook, I know that each of the Fallen has a Fae counterpart, meaning each of the Fae has a Fallen counterpart, and they're supposed to go hand in hand. They're supposed to be mirrors of each other. The Fallen Archon? The Ferryman. Ferryman? Ferryman. Travel. The Free Spirit. Okay, Oh, this is another penetration card. Free Spirit. They're Fae. Priest of the Moon. A Fallen. The Bound Lord. Well, from what I'm covering, he seems to be liking that. Some of these are huge. The Alchemist. Is that a Fae? Yeah, it's a Fae. I looked at the ears so I can know. Lord of Misanthropy. I like this card. The Druid. The Lantern Bearer. The Brotherhood. These are all Fae. The Strategist. Guardian of the Grove. Oh, so maybe I'm confusing. Oh, well, he's a guardian. The other ones were guides, I believe. Lord of the Claw. I actually really like this card, but then because of his placement of his hand, it makes me think he's scratching, and it makes me think he got crabs or something. The Warden. Okay, hair booty. We see you. This card made me laugh, but it's one of the cards where I don't know how to cover this one. It's also one of the cards that it's called Lord of Destruction. That I think really emphasizes and gives meaning when they have boners, when they have erections. So he has an erection and he's destroying. So it's really giving that, like, how much pleasure he gets from destruction, right? Lord of the Hunt. Reminds me of the Strength card in Tarot. We have the Recluse. The Fae, I need to go through this because I wonder if the Fae gives a lot more booty than the Fallen does. The Scout. Like the Fallen give a lot more peen while the Scout gives a lot more booty. Lord of Reckoning. It's a cool card. I love this. Probably my favorite card. Lord of Whisper. Or Whispers. So this was actually one of the prints I really, really wanted from his Redbubble page. I wanted it so bad. I think I'm still going to get it. Ah, beautiful, isn't it? So cute. So this one is very interesting to me lore-wise. The Captive. So the Fallen is the bigger one, and the Captive is a Fae. But look at how small he is. So and by the Hunt, the picture of the Hunt, they look to be the same size. So do we have different versions? Like, can they come in different sizes? Can they shrink? Lord of the Pierced Heart. Actually, I wonder if that's in the guidebook. So that's going to be it. That's going to be it for this one. Oh, I should show you how they shuffle, huh? It's going to be a little different with of course, with the sleeve cards, but I can show you this one. Oh. So that when they shuffle, it's a little hard. Like, they feel tough. They feel hard. I don't know how to explain that, though, because the cardstock is very thin, but once you go to shuffle them, they feel really firm. You see that? You hear that? So it's actually really comfortable to shuffle, in my opinion. But because they were expensive, they're a little more on the indie side, I just wanted to keep them protected. And I had the cards already. These were incredibly easy to card. To sleeve, sorry. I used the sleeves from Titan Shield because the cardstock is so thin. Now, I have 2 other decks that I sleeved, and I low-key kind of regret sleeving them because I don't think they needed them, and they were thicker, and so it was difficult to sleeve. Very difficult, but it is what it is at this point. So now, I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you the Reclaimed Earth tarot deck. Standard edition, right? So it's not going to have any nudity like that. Welcome. Travel the journey of the Fool in 3036, where even the air is trying to kill you, and people are forced to live in giant biodomes full of dazzling neon lights. Explore the hidden secrets of a future world. Okay, so pretty cool, right? The Reclaimed Earth. So, because I sleeved them, it no longer fits in the box, unfortunately. So, with the story behind the Reclaimed Earth tarot deck, we have Earth. I believe Earth is dying. It's not looking good for Earth. So they sent people to colonize Mars. And Mars was able to prosper. Even though it was very difficult, they were able to prosper and create a civilization on Mars with the help, guidance, and resources from Earth. That's the story behind this one. It is a cyberpunk, futuristic, dystopian society. So we can go ahead. And so these are going to be sleeved. We can go ahead and start off with the Fool. So in terms of lighting, it's not going to be the absolute best. This is what the back of the cards look like. And these backs share the same backs as the Oracle deck. So if you wanted to, you could combine them. If that is what you want to do. So we have the Magician. We have the Magician. We have the High Priestess. Now, as you know, this is a gay tarot deck, gay oracle deck. So this is the tarot deck, and then I have the oracle deck that matches this story. So you actually have no women in this deck. But if you do want the women in the deck, you can add them on. They're add-on features. So in the deck, instead of the High Priestess, you get the Mystic. So some of these cards, I was like, whatever. Other cards, I was like, I want you. But because I'm still learning tarot, I need to have the women in here. I need it. Confuses the hell out of me, and I need that symbolism. So I got the Mystic. High Priestess. The Empress. The Empress is also another add-on card, of course, because she is a woman. Beautiful. And everything about the cards stay the same, except for the characters changing, for the most part. This one's called the Consort. The Emperor. The Hierophant. The Lovers. Another really, really interesting concept that I want to go over with this world is humans are not the only ones present. I'll go over that with you. The Chariot. Strength. And because I'm in my studying phase, I do have the Ride or Wait tarot deck. Pamela Wide Wait, which is what most tarot decks are based off of, and these match pretty well. So symbolisms and stuff are there. The Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hanged Man. Death. Now, this is where you're gonna first be introduced to a being that is not human. This blue man with 2 nipples. And he's represented on the Death card, okay? We want to keep that in mind. We have Temperance. The Devil. So here you can see we have a being that is blue with 2 nipples and way larger than the humans. Who has captive humans, right? And then we have the blue species from before, same species, except the size of a human? So I got questions. The tower. Interesting depiction. They're seeing the tower, the news on screen. The star. What a cool card. What a hunk. The moon. The sun. Judgments. Now, here we have that same species depicted as an angel for the Judgment card. Very interesting, isn't it? And then we have the world. And then let's move on to, let's do the wands. The suit of wands. Here we have the Ace of Wands. The Two of Wands. The Three of Wands. The Four of Wands. The Five of Wands. The Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. This card kind of makes me laugh. Oh, gooch. The Nine of Wands. I'm sure the uncensored version would have made me laugh way more. The Ten of Wands. The Page of Wands. The Knight of Wands. The Queen of Wands, which is an add-on card. The Prince of Wands. The queens are called Princess in this deck, so he comes with the deck. And the King of Wands. We'll move on to the Pentacles. Here we have the Ace of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles. I don't know why I love this card. I'm still trying to figure out. It has augmented reality, so it's changing everything about the appearance, and I'm trying to figure out how that relates to the Two of Pentacles. We have the Three of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles. And I like how some of the cards do, this says Virgos, Cantina. So some of the cards do have the depiction of a relating astrological sign. Page of Pentacles. I'm trying to learn that as well. The Knight of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. So remember, this is an add-on card. So it comes with the Prince of Pentacles. This cutie. I think he's one of the only characters in here that looks a little bit more twinkish. The King of Pentacles. Nice. Now we have the Cups. The Ace of Pentacles. And it's crazy. I do think he does really well with depicting certain faces that really do look like the energy that they're depicting, which I love. The Two of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Why you gotta be licking him for? The Four of Pentacles. I'm bored. Apathy. Don't want it. Get out of my face. What opportunities? The Five of Cups. Oh, I dropped my cups. Let me twerk. The Six of Pentacles. Aww. The Seven of Pentacles. I love the depiction of the Pentacles. The Eight of Cups. The Nine of Cups, one of my favorite cards. It's the right amount of gay for me. The Ten of Cups. The Page of Cups. Okay, cute. The Knight of Cups. We have the Queen of Cups, which again is an add-on. So it comes with the Prince of Cups. And then we have the King of Cups. And then the last suit we have is the Swords. We have the Ace of Swords. The Two of Swords. The Three of Swords. The Four of Swords. The Five of Swords. The Six of Swords. A little puppy with him. The Seven of Swords. I like how it says wanted, wanted. It's like surveillance footage. The Eight of Swords. The Nine of Swords. This one says dream state. It's like in a tube. The Ten of Swords. Oh, Miss Keisha. I'm gonna fucking got Miss Keisha. We have the Page of Swords. The Knight of Swords. The Queen of Swords, which is an add-on. It comes with the Prince of Swords. And the King of Swords. So that one is going to conclude the tarot deck. And so we have depicted, because I wanted to touch on this, we have this species depicted. Now, it seems that the humans on the Mars colony are looking to these species as holier than thou, as more kind of religious-like. We have the Death, which he's the same size as the humans, while these are much larger. This one's kind of medium size compared, right? It looks like, maybe it's perspective, and this one's just huge. So I wonder if they can change their shape, or if there's different sizes within the species, because the species are very humanoid looking. They just have blue skin and two nipples. This one in particular, though, the Devil card, has hoofs for feet, and they have horns. Now, and then we have the Lover's card. The Lover's card for Club Eden is depicting one of the species, except this is a human, but has blue skin. So it is depicting them as angelic. Angel, Eden, the Lover's card, it has taken place, the blue skin has taken place of the angel, right? The devil and death. So this is very, very interesting to me. So in this time period that this tarot deck takes place in the Martian colony, they definitely are looking at this species as some sort of religion. And we will touch base in that in the Oracle deck. Let's get right into the Oracle deck. So the Oracle deck is called the Mars Sanctum Oracle. And in this one, this takes place a while after the colony on Mars. So what happened with the colony on Mars is once the Earth started to die, even more so than it already was, Earth could no longer send the supplies and resources the Mars colony needed to survive. So what ended up happening is it died off. Now, I don't know if the people from Mars went back to Earth or if they left them there to perish. But now that Earth is completely done for, they sent the smartest people they had to Mars to try to survive. So these Earthlings went to Mars, to an abandoned civilization, an abandoned colony, and tried their best to repopulate, to rebuild. It says, the exploration class Starship UNN expansion makes her voyage to what remains of the Mars Sanctum. Here, humanity will begin rebuilding the long-abandoned settlement with the best and brightest Earth has to offer. Working tirelessly to manifest the grand dream, the terraforming of this dry, inhospitable planet into a fertile green haven like the Earth of old. The challenges they face may seem insurmountable, but with this new opportunity comes the chance for unlimited expansion and room to grow like never before. Let's get into it. We have Nightmare. The Maelstrom. Virtual Reality. Stasis. It's a hot card, huh? I love that card. Terraforming. So with this, I think you do definitely need the guidebook. The monuments. As these kind of specific keywords, I don't think are going to make the most sense by themselves. The Neuromancer. I also really love this card. He's a cutie. The Runaway. The Hacker. But you could also definitely come up with your own meanings for them for sure. The Settlers. Those muscles, honey. Dang. Displacement. The Counselor. So funny, he looks like a counselor, doesn't he? Soul. I also love this card. The Advisor. Which I do like. You'll see who he is in another card. Desolation. Cute. Love the crop top. Android. So we're adding another species into the mix, an android. The Soldier. Revelry. Well, my camera died. But let's jump back into it. We have the Voyager. Or the Voyagers. The Arbiter? Arbiter? The Arbiter. The Mercenary. The Medic. The Navigator. Emperor of Mars. So if you remember the advisor card, he was advising this man, the Emperor of Mars. The Astral Caster. The Phytologist? Phytologist? He's cute, honey. He's cute. Fortitude. The Mechanic. Okay, honey. Yes. My card does need some work right now. Phobos and Deimos. I remember showing this to my mans. Was going over this with my mans, and those are the sons of Aries, or something like that. Strength and willpower, fortitude, or something along those lines. The Nihilist. Okay, bulge. Okay, booty. The Pathfinder. The Analyst. Okay, chest. Yes. The Soulbind. Decontamination. The Arch Lector. Serenity. Okay, selfie. The Inquisitor. And Prosperity. Beautiful card, huh? Now, there's two cards that I had put off to the side because it's going to get a little bit more into the lore, okay? So, remember, the tarot deck was the colony. The colony in collaboration with Earth. Now, this deck, the Oracle deck, takes place many, many years after the colony was abandoned. And they're rebuilding off of that foundation that was left behind, okay? We have the Stranger, okay? So, the Stranger, this is the species, the being that the colony were definitely worshipping in a more of a holier-than-thou sense, okay? It being introduced, them being introduced as the Stranger, and this oracle lets me know either so much time has passed since the abandonment of that colony that knowledge has been lost, or they were left there to perish and they did die, right? They did not come back to Earth, okay? Regardless, this species are reintroducing themselves to humans, okay? And then we have imprisonment. Humans have imprisoned this species. Now, these are the only two cards in this Oracle deck that feature the species. As we know from the tarot deck, we have the species represented on the Devil, Death, and Judgment. So is it that they are being worshipped, or is it being said that this is a higher intellectual being, right? And if that being said, the humans of the past knew that and respected that, and so maybe this is what this bounty means. It's not necessarily that they were captured, but that they are, quote unquote, a lesser being. That humans are a lesser being than them. Or were they worshiping? Because look at here. Right? Maybe some people would worship, a being like this. But the fact that they had gotten captured, and they're being captured by technology, that maybe the Earthlings that are now inhabiting this abandoned settlement, they have better technology than they did in the past, or is this technology from the past, right? Regardless, we have an introduction and we have an imprisonment of said species. And I did look, I think these species, they do look very similar, but I think they are different. This one does not have piercings, and it seems like they have some type of tattoo. The beard is also darker. I'm not sure, but it's very fun to think about. And again, the backings to the tarot and to the oracle deck are the same. So if you wanted to have fun and place them within each other, you could. Now, the tarot deck or the oracle deck also has an add-on. I had added these into my tarot deck because I thought it would be fun, until I realized tarot deck has cards that represent astrology signs anyways. So I thought this would be a lot more fun in my oracle deck. So if I were to pull in tandem with the tarot deck, it would really signify the type of energy that's being brought forward, or an individual, right? We have the astrological signs. The astrological signs are being represented, I don't know why I said it like that, are being represented by that species. Very interesting. So I know before I had talked about why was one of the species the same size as a human? Why was the devil card was more of a medium size? The death card was the small one. The medium size looked like the devil. And then the large was judgment, depicted as that angel, right? Well, these are also depicted large, like that judgment size. I know I had also talked about the devil having horns and hooved feet, while all the other ones looked human. Now, when we look at these, the Capricorn in particular, Shadow Capricorn, it does have a fish-like tail. But you're going to see in all of these cards, is it just machinery? Is it armor? Or is it really a tail? I'm bound to believe that it is a tail. We have Aquarius, cool card. Now, nothing about Aquarius, still that humanoid. Capricorn, it's Capricorn, right? Pisces, humanoid. Aries, still humanoid. The legs aren't hooves. They are machine. And now look at Aries. Back again. This time, my memory card was full. No, back into it. So we have Aries. I don't know if I had said this before the camera got cut, but this fool Lil Nas X. This fool is Lil Nas X through and through. And I was sitting there tripping like, this not fool. So I looked it up on Google, and he's in fact an Aries. So Taurus, Gemini, all of these humanoid. Cancer, his claws are mechanical. I don't know how to pronounce this one. This one is more of the new age of astrology since the placements have moved over time. Some people regard this as one of the horoscopes, like a 13th. And it sits in between two horoscopes. I forget which two, though. Now, Sagittarius. Looking at Sagittarius's card, his design, the horse part of his body, his lower half, is not giving mechanical. So this leads me to believe that him and Capricorn are in fact, their lower halves are different, which means it corresponds with the devil card in the tarot having hooves and horns, right? Scorpio, his stinger, mechanical. Leo, the mane and claws, mechanical. And then we have Virgo. This card, man, he did good with the depictions, with the faces, like the energy that the people. This is a fucking Virgo, dog. This is a fucking Virgo. Conceited piece of shits. Gotta love him. Libra. Or maybe not conceited, more arrogant. Libra. Cool, huh? These are add-ons. These are add-ons that you can get. I thought they were really fun. Plays more into the lore as well. Super cool. Super fun. And so that is my conclusion. Ooh, damn. That is the conclusion of my tarot haul from Saint Jinx. Jinx? Yep. That concludes my haul from Saint Jinx. He does have a couple more. I think he has another tarot deck. I'm not sure if this is his only tarot deck. He might have one more, but he definitely has more oracle decks. Something to check out. How cute, how fun, how exciting. Lots of lore to get through. When it comes to the Court of Dreams and the Feather and Stone, I'm not sure if I want to place them in the same universe. But I think I might, because that's a little fun for me. I like how these are connected. Yeah. I'll keep you updated to see how things go and how the energy and how I'm resonating. But so far, it's just been incredibly fun. And I think that's the main point to come across. It's just fun. It's exciting. And I love being represented. Well, I mean, I'm not muscular with a humongous dong, so, but like, you know what I mean, right? It's fun to see your energy represented, to see a part of you represented, especially in a fantasy landscape, which I love me some fantasy. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, Sour Crew. It was fun to hang out with you this morning. For you, who knows how long this video is going to be? Maybe like an hour? Oh, hour 30 minutes? Oh. But for me, this was like 7:30 to 11. So, it's been a morning. I'm like, basically just like, hopped up out of bed and was like, let's do this shit. So, I had a lot of fun. It's great to be back. We'll see how consistent I am. But it was fun to share this experience with you. And I am hoping that I will revamp and bring back my podcast, Melancholy and Halos, and touch more into where I've been, what I'm doing, my mindsets, my interests, my hobbies. And this just gives you a little glimpse into where I've been the past couple years, where my mindset is at. Super excited on the journey that I am undertaking. Super excited on how far I've come, where I'm heading, where I'm at. And I am so glad to share with you this little piece of joy that I have carved out for myself in the form of tarot and oracles and the divine and spirituality and gay exploration. Well, until next time, Sour Crew, watch.